Breaking news, you're looking at video of one of the last times Oscar winner Gene Hackman, a known recluse in recent years, was seen in public.
As well known as Gene Hackman was, neighbors tell us that he and his wife led intensely private lives here in Santa Fe, their longtime home. And while we've been learning more about this case, there is still so much we don't know.
What transpired in the mansion of Gene Hackman, the beloved actor, best known for his famous parts in The French Connection, is astonished by this jaw-dropping mystery that goes beyond another celebrity narrative. Superman and Unforgiven were discovered dead in their remote New Mexico home with his wife Betsy Arawakawa, but that was only the beginning. What investigators discovered upon arrival at the scene left more questions than answers, transforming what appeared to be a quiet death into something much more puzzling. Could there be more to this story than meets the eye? What secrets were concealed behind those walls?
And here in Santa Fe, Sheriff's Department officials here working behind me have yet another high-profile case on their hands. Aaron, you and I covered at length the Alec Baldwin case, that fatal shooting on the set of the movie Rust. This is the same investigative team that worked that case.
That instance. The story started when two maintenance workers showed up at G. Hackman's sprawling Santa Fe property for a routine visit. What they found, however, was anything but routine. The front door was wide open, and as soon as they stepped inside, they noticed the dead bodies of Hackman and his wife in separate rooms of the house. The scene was unsettling to say the least. Hackman was found near the kitchen, collapsed beside his cane and sunglasses, while Betsy was found on the bathroom floor. Surround that shocked both the entertainment industry and the tranquil Santa Fe community.
Initial findings note no external trauma to either individual. They say that carbon monoxide toxicology reports have been requested. Finally, as sheriff's officials gather information, it's worth pointing out that this could take weeks or months before we know exactly what the cause of is. That's because these medical examiner cases often take time in order to get to the root cause of these.
When tests were conducted, the gas company found no leaks, and fire officials confirmed there were no signs of carbon monoxide in the house. This revelation threw the investigation into disarray and left authorities scrambling for answers. At first, authorities tended to believe that carbon monoxide poisoning made sense because cases of toxic fumes from heating systems are tragically common, especially in older homes. How could two people who appeared to be in good health die simultaneously in separate areas of the house without any apparent reason?
They've clearly been for several days, and I'm saying days plural, in order to get that kind of mummification. One of the ways of figuring this out, obviously, is from the scene investigation to find out when did they last pick up the mail, when did they last check in with relatives, phone calls, those kind of things, because people generally will communicate with others during the course of their time.
To make things even more confusing, experts were prompted to question the body's state. The corpses of Hackman and Arakawa had evidence of severe decay, indicating that they had been there for a long time before being found. Some people say the bodies looked practically mummified, which only served to heighten the mystery. Investigators observed that although heating within the house and the dry New Mexico air may have sped up the process, the chronology still didn't add up. Could this timeline provide insight into what actually transpired? Hackman's pacemaker, which recorded its last activity on February 17, suggested that he had probably been dead for at least 9 days before anyone discovered him.
It's a dog who was alive in the house and a dog also that belonged to them who was outside the house.
Right, but the door being ajar means, what Judy describes, which is they could have been there 10 days or 2 weeks, meant that the dogs could have had access to come in and out of that doorway. They might have had access to food and to water.
Even seasoned detectives have been baffled by the unanswered questions that have left them scratching their heads as they attempted to piece together the events leading up to the discovery. One investigator even remarked, "In all my years, I've never seen a case quite like this." Meanwhile, the public's reaction has been a mix of shock, grief, and wild speculation. Why was the front door left open? Was it a cry for help? Had someone else entered or left the house? What about the pills scattered near Betsy's body? Were they part of a medical emergency? Hackman is regarded as one of the best performers of the couple, was well known for their generosity and kindness, frequently supporting local businesses and avoiding the spotlight. Their sudden and mysterious circumstances of passing feel completely at odds with the life they led. His generation was also known for his private, down-to-earth lifestyle. He retired from acting in 2004 and chose to spend his later years writing novels, painting, and taking in the quiet beauty of Santa Fe with Betsy by his side.
As Hollywood gets ready to honor its best at the Academy Awards this weekend, there are still unanswered questions about the of two-time Oscar winner Gene Hackman and his wife. The couple was found this week in their New Mexico home. On Friday, investigators ruled out carbon monoxide poisoning and revealed other clues that may lead them to determine what did happen.
Hollywood, too, has been shaken to its core, tributes poured in from fans and fellow actors alike, with many sharing fond memories of Hackman's incredible talent and warm personality. Gwyneth Paltrow, who worked with Hackman on The Royal Tenenbaums, posted a heartfelt tribute online calling him a true legend and sharing a photo of the two of them on set. Clint Eastwood, Hackman's co-star and director in Unforgiven, released a statement saying, "Gene was not only one of the most talented actors I've ever worked with, but he was also a dear friend. His loss leaves a void that can never be filled." Hackman's family, understandably devastated, has also spoken out. His daughter Leslie described her father as being in remarkably good health for his age, mentioning that he frequently did Pilates and yoga, and she was thankful to Betsy for helping to keep Hackman active and healthy in his later years. In an emotional statement, she said, "Betsy took such good care of him. I can't believe they're both gone," adding to the intrigue. Despite the negative carbon monoxide tests, Leslie and her sister Elizabeth have conjectured that toxic fumes might still have played a role. Could there have been another environmental hazard in the house that went unnoticed? Their theories have only stoked public interest, with many people sharing their own theories on social media.
Much of the investigation is happening just up this road behind gates and a guard in an affluent neighborhood where homes are separated by acres of land. That's where Hackman and his wife chose to live, decidedly secluded.
Authorities are searching every part of Hackman and Arakawa's lives for clues as the investigation goes on, from phone records to medical records. They have even taken 2 cell phones and a 2025 monthly planner from the house in an attempt to piece together the couple's last days, but so far no definitive answers have surfaced. While toxicology reports that could offer crucial information are still pending and could take weeks or even months to complete, a number of theories have started to circulate in spite of the lack of hard evidence. Some speculate that the couple may have died of a sudden illness or a shared medical crisis like dehydration, while others wonder if one of them was involved in a tragic accident and the other unable to cope, which was followed shortly after by rumors that their cherished dogs might have a clue given the peculiar circumstances surrounding the animals. How did 2 of the dogs survive while the third did not? Could something in the environment have affected them differently? Finally, there is the theory of foul play, which, although not supported by any evidence at this time, hasn't been completely ruled out. The open front door has led some people to speculate that an intruder might have been involved, even though authorities haven't discovered any signs of forced entry or struggle. Could someone have had a key to the house, or is the open door just a red herring in an already perplexing case?
Following incredible new details this hour about the circumstances surrounding his front door open, scattered pills on the bathroom countertop, 1 dog in the closet, 2 still alive on the...
One thing is certain, the account of G. Hackman and S. Arakawa's last days is not at all as fans and investigators alike wait for the next piece of the puzzle. The combination of their celebrity status, the odd details surrounding their passing, and the lack of conclusive answers has created a perfect storm of speculation and intrigue. One can't help but wonder what actually happened inside that house and whether we will ever truly know the full story. The mystery surrounding Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's deaths has only grown more complex as new information and theories surface. The peaceful private life they meticulously maintained in their Santa Fe retreat now stands in stark contrast to the flurry of speculation and research surrounding their final moments. Days, what actually transpired in that house? And can the answers be found in the odd clues left behind or in their lives away from Hollywood?
Investigators been able to get into the obtained cell phones?
Not at this time. We have them in our possession. We'll be analyzing cell phone data, phone calls, text messages, events, photos in the cell phone to try to piece a timeline together.
The state and location of the two people when they were discovered is among the most puzzling aspects of this tale. Gene Hackman, who is well known for portraying tough, unwavering characters on screen, was found unconscious next to his cane and sunglasses near the back of the house. Particularly for someone who, according to his family, was still vibrant at 95, it's a disturbing picture of fragility. The discovery of Betsy Orokowa, his wife of more than 30 years, on the bathroom floor at the other end of the house, surrounded by a broken heater and strewn prescription drugs, begs the inexhaustible issue of whether they were attempting to communicate with one another in their last moments. Betsy is making an attempt to call requesting assistance, or did something else completely occur that hasn't been revealed yet? The timeline, or lack thereof, further adds to the ambiguity. Researchers are attempting to determine whether Hackman's pacemaker data shows that his last recorded activity was on February 17, almost 10 days before their bodies were found. However, Betsy's condition suggested she might not have been unresponsive for as long. This discrepancy has fueled speculation about whether one of them passed away first, leaving the other in a state of distress or despair. If so, why was no help sought? What role did the scattered pills play in this story? Were they related to a medical emergency or were they a coincidence?
Wednesday, February 26, 2025, at approximately 1:45 p.m., Santa Fe County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched to 1425 Old Sunset Trail, where Gene Hackman, 95, and his wife Betsy Orokowa, 65, and a dog were found deceased.
One of the case's most contentious details is the odd detail of the open front door. When the workers who discovered the scene arrived, they noticed that the door was jarred, which is extremely unusual for a couple who are known to be so private. Some have theorized that this might have been an attempt to signal for assistance, while others wonder if it could indicate that a third party was involved. Despite the fact that authorities have not discovered any evidence of forced entry or struggle, the open door remains. Was there anyone else in the house that day? If so, who were they and why has no sign of them been found? This is one of the story's most unsettling and inexplicable aspects.
Police arrived and gained access to the residence where they observed Mrs. Orokowa deceased. They continued the search of their home and located Mr. Hackman in a separate area of the residence, also deceased. A German Shepherd was also found deceased, and two other dogs who appeared healthy were located on the property.
Little resolve is provided by the state of the house itself. Authorities said it was mostly undisturbed and showed no signs of foul play or robbery, but the dispersed medications, the overturned heater, and the odd positioning of the bodies point to a scene that doesn't quite fit. Even seasoned investigators are baffled by these facts. One insider is said to have remarked that the case is like something from a Hollywood movie script, much like Hackman. Nobody finds that statement ironic, and then there's the matter of the couple's cherished pets. Another layer of intrigue is that two of their dogs are free to wander the property unharmed, yet one was discovered dead in a box.
Due to the unusual circumstances of two decedents in the residence, there was a concern for scene safety. Santa Fe City fire personnel and the New Mexico Gas Company were requested to the scene to test for carbon monoxide or other foreign elements. The scene was deemed safe, and approximately 9:30 p.m., a search warrant was issued and executed on the residence.
As the inquiry goes on, focus has also shifted to the couple's lifestyle and health in the months preceding their death, by all accounts. Hackman was remarkably fit for his age, and according to his daughter Lizzie, he enjoyed being active and frequently did yoga and Pilates. Classical pianist Betsy was well known for her intense devotion to her husband's health, frequently going to great lengths to keep him happy and healthy. The couple's friends have echoed these feelings, characterizing them as lively and involved in life. So what could have led to such an unexpected turn of events?
In this search warrant, there were 2 green in color cell phones, 2 bottles of medication, 1 bottle of over-the-counter Tylenol, My Request medical records, and a 2025 monthly planner calendar. Those items were secured from the residence for evidentiary purposes.
Despite the negative carbon monoxide tests, some have hypothesized that an environmental factor may be to blame. Investigators are reportedly investigating everything from mold to chemical exposure in the hopes of finding something that could explain the unexpected tragedy. As part of the investigation, officials have also obtained the couple's medical records, looking through their medical history for any indications of underlying illnesses that might provide explanations. Meanwhile, the public fascination with this case shows no signs of waning. Fans and amateur sleuths have taken to social media to share their own theories, with some even combing through Hackman's past interviews and public appearances. For Clues a Conversation, he discussed his decision to retire from acting in a rare interview that surfaced in 2009. He acknowledged that, at the time, he didn't have many fears, but that, as he ages, he worries about dying. Perhaps his words reveal some hidden insight into his celebrity tributes to state of mind in his latter years, have also been significant in presenting Hackman as a highly private person in addition to a great performer. Clint Eastwood, who co-starred and directed Hackman in the 1992 western Unforgiven, called him an artist in every way. Another co-star, Morgan Freeman, referred to Hackman as one of the best actors I've ever known. The honor of working with these sincere remarks contrasts sharply with the mysterious circumstances surrounding his death, giving a poignant element to an already intricate tale.
Because I knew a lot of them, so they weren't intimidating. Meeting Gene Hackman the first time, was like, but then finding out he was so funny, that was a great thing. You know, when I saw him, he did that speech in Birdcage where he just says that thing about, and the leaves, and at that point you just slowly nod off. But he did it so, it's a hard thing to make boring hysterical. And he did it. And he did it perfectly, he had this.
Even those who knew Hackman and Betsy personally have been left reeling. Jesse Kessler, the contractor who made the fateful 911 call, described the couple as kind-hearted and generous, adding that he never noticed anything unusual leading up to their final days. Another friend, Doug Lanham, shared a light-hearted memory of Hackman paying off a bet in pennies, a testament to his humor and down-to-earth nature. These anecdotes only deepen the sense of loss felt by those who knew them, as well as the millions of fans who admired Hackman's work from afar.
What was it like being on the set with Gene Hackman?
Well, Gene, people ask all the time, who's the best actor, who's the biggest star, who's the blah, blah, blah. The line's long for the great actors I've been able to work with, really is. But I would say probably Gene was the best actor.
As we await toxicology reports and additional law enforcement updates, the mystery surrounding the deaths of Gene Hackman and Bayo Okowa remains captivating and perplexing. Every new detail seems to raise more questions than answers, leaving investigators and the public searching for clarity. Was this a tragic accident, a deliberate act, or something even more unexpected? And will we ever truly know the full story of what happened in that quiet Santa Fe home? For now, all we can do is speculate. Will persevere despite the fact that his last day's circumstances are still unknown. The mystery surrounding the untimely deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa has left us with more questions than answers, and as more information becomes available, one can only hope that the truth will eventually come to light and put an end to a case that has drawn attention from all over the world. Was the open front door a call for assistance or something more? And could there have been an environmental factor at work, or was it just a fatal coincidence? Tell us what you believe actually transpired in that silent Santa Fe by sharing your ideas and hypotheses in the comments section below. Sinister. Goodbye, stay inquisitive and continue the conversation until you return home.